And we are live. Welcome back to another episode on the See Through It podcast. I'm your host, Brian Zales. And I have, oh my gosh, you know what I forgot? I
What's up?
forgot to get your name after all that talking. I forgot to get
What?
your name.
Oh man, I could be anybody.
It could be
This
anybody.
is that moment for me where I can choose my own identity, right?
Absolutely.
My name's Angelo Soares. I own Battle Cat Company.
Angelos, did I say
Angelo
that?
Soares,
Angelo Soares.
correct. The
Got it.
fourth, actually, if
The
you want
fourth.
to.
The
Yeah,
fourth. Wow.
yeah.
Are you going to pass that name on?
I don't think so. Two reasons. One, whenever I sign up for something, you get like your surname or whatever, and it's like one, two, three, four. It ends at five most of the time. So I
Huh.
could have one more kid, and then that kid, if they don't make a sixth, like they're kind of a dick
Yeah.
point. And also, you can't sign up for anything. And
Yeah.
also, I got made fun of like crazy as a kid. It's just not worth it.
Angelos. Am I saying that right? Angelos.
So get rid of the S, and you're there.
Angelo.
Angelo,
Angelo.
like Michelangelo, like here.
Gotcha.
Well, here's how I got made fun of. I get called Angela, but it's
Angela. Angelo.
yeah, man.
Angelo. There we go.
Yeah,
Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for coming on tonight. How are you doing?
doing good, doing good.
As you heard, he is the owner of Battle Cat Company.
Mhm.
Battle Cat Company. We're going to get into more of that. But before we get into all of that, folks, you already know we have to do some promotion. So let's go ahead and get into the promo. Folks, if you are watching YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give it a thumbs up. If you don't want to give it a thumbs up, you give it a thumbs down. Tell me why in the comments why you gave it a thumbs down. Let me know. Join the conversation. If you're on Instagram, follow me at SeeThroughIt_podcast. Facebook, facebook.com/C STIPODCST. Give it a thumbs up, like, share, join the conversation there. Get those numbers up. You can also reach me through email, seethroughitpodcast@gmail.com. If you like to purchase anything, I have a new shirt on today. My Warriors collection. Like to purchase a shirt, hoodie, mug. There's another mug, promo, Warriors collection. PayPal. Go through PayPal's paypal.me/seethroughit. If you'd like to donate, the same thing. If not, that is fine. Also, I want to give a special thanks to one of my supporters, Mr. White. If you are in Tennessee and you are in need of tires, please contact him at C&J Tires and Service. Very good, man. Very good, man. Thank you for your support, sir. And if you'd like to be mentioned on this little page right here as a supporter of the show, let me know and let's work something out. I am always looking for sponsors or supporters of the show. We're done with that part. That is the fun part of the show that everyone loves. The fun part that everyone loves. So let's get into some promotion about what you have going on, sir.
Oh, so for anybody listening today, I'm going to be giving 20% off to you guys. So it is discount code SeeThroughIt 20 on our website, battlecatco.com. You get 20% off of everything. So get in there and do that.
Get in there and do that. So if you don't know what he's all about or what this is all about, stay tuned. We're about to jump into it right now. We're about to jump into it. So, I, as you see the title, Second Amendment, your rights. So that means we're talking about guns. You're talking about guns, and this man loves guns.
I do. Yeah.
He loves guns, but we're not like psycho crazies or anything like that. It's a healthy relationship with guns. Um, Tell us about who you are and what the company is. Like, what does that embody?
So I'm just a guy. I'm not a vet. I'm not active duty military, not law enforcement, nothing like that. Truthfully, I've been into firearms and shooting for a really long time, a lot of years. And I very intentionally, a number of years back, made a again, a very conscious choice to take my training much more serious, and started seeking out professional schools to train with and places to go, and learn how to truly not just shoot a firearm, but learn how to fight with a firearm. Which I think there's a stark difference in that as far as culture goes,
Mm-hmm.
in the firearms community. And as I did that, I discovered that there's such a large community of people that are very like-minded. I think the term sheepdog, it's a little bit overused, but there are a lot of people out there that do have a true belief in protecting themselves and their families and their
Mm-hmm.
communities. For me, it goes, I went into doing a lot of combative stuff. I did Krav Maga for a number of years,
Nice.
jujitsu, a lot of hand-to-hand stuff, and I found that I love that just as much as I like shooting, and that led me into doing, well, what's the next thing with that? I started doing some medical training, and I just kind of get my hands immersed in all the things that can basically help me be an asset to my community and my family and the people I care about.
Nice.
Uh, so that happened very naturally. This is much way before I started doing Battle Cat. About less than a year ago now, I was essentially not really super thrilled with my job.
Yeah.
It nothing really wrong with it, but like you could always use like a little bit extra. So I was trying to find a way to make a little bit extra so I could essentially afford my passion of going and shooting and training. So an extra $100 a month or something to do a course or something like that.
Yeah.
So I started making decals and selling on decals online, and just generic stuff, nothing crazy. And I think because it was so natural, I was like, well, I want a cool logo for this thing that I'm doing. And myself and my fiance, we have this cat. His name's Tiny Rick Sanchez. It's a reference to Rick and Morty. But this cat's a total freaking badass, and he's awesome, and we love him. And basically my life revolves around, my life at home with my family, which is myself and my fiance and our cat, and we now have a dog. And then, my combative side of my life where I like to go shoot and, fight and get punched in the head. So
Yeah.
battle, that's kind of, what that became. I wasn't really trying to make a brand out of that so much. And then once I start promoting, I realized that, hey, there's a lot of people out there that are resonating with this, and they're like, hey, this is cool. I like what this is about. And I was like, you know what? Hold on, I'm going to do a hard stop here, and I'm going to realize, or I kind of realized what it was I really wanted to do, which was to promote, that lifestyle that I live, in a way that is palatable and not super aggressive in your face all the time, punching
Yeah.
in the head, kind of divisive. It's a little bit more fun. I mean, I got some like pretty badass designs that are a little more aggressive, but at the same time, there's a little bit of playfulness
Yeah.
that allows for some conversation. And now I'm getting to the point where the shirts are I'm starting to do shirts that have a lot more meaning to them too, along with the fun stuff. And I've been working with getting to know different instructors to try to guide people towards training through this, essentially, which it's just an apparel brand. So
That's tight. Yeah, it's very important to be trained in firearms. If you're gonna have one, you should definitely be
absolutely,
trained and know what you are doing and what is capable of and everything. You should definitely have the knowledge of the weapon that you're gonna be having in your home.
yeah, that's true.
Um, that is a great thing. Because there's a lot of people out there that think people that have guns or that are in love with guns or are just crazy psychos or that are sitting waiting to be a ticking time bomb and just waiting to shoot something up. That's not the case.
No,
We just
no. Honestly, I haven't met anybody like that myself ever. And I don't think you ever will, because people that are like that tend to be much more reclusive, and they're, kind of on the fringes of society anyways. And your
right.
average owner is me. I'm
Yeah, I mean
pretty
most
nice
of the
guy. I'm not trying to hurt anybody.
most of those people are private. Like they don't want you to know what they have going on. They don't want you to know what they're planning. But like you said, I've met a lot of people that own guns, and I've been around a lot of them, and they're not hotheads. They're
Mm-hmm.
not. They're cool, simple people. Cool,
Mm-hmm.
simple people. So
Sure.
hopefully we can change that whole view of owning the people that own guns. To change the view of people that see them and be like, well, are they about to start murdering everyone? They want
Yeah,
to change that whole view right there. Uh,
stereo.
yeah, the stereotyping, like
Yeah.
it's crazy. We definitely don't want that.
Mhm.
So why is the Second Amendment so important to gun owners and America? Matter of fact, it should be important to America as a whole, but why is it so important to the gun owners?
Well, first off, if you're asking why it's important to gun owners to respect the Second Amendment, it's kind of the answer is kind of in the question because I'm sorry, I was out in the cold. I'm a little sniffly right now,
No problem. No problem.
but the answer's in the question because they're gun owners. You
Hmm.
know, like I think the real question is why the Second Amendment is important to America in 2020 because I think these days we are so comfortable here in America. We don't have any, your average person at least, your average person that is, if we're talking about the people that are saying, hey, why do we need these firearm? I don't need a firearm. Like, just ridiculous. Why would you ever need an AR-15? If you think about where those people typically live, like they're living in suburban America, they're really comfortable. They don't have any threats. It's like, it's we're so domesticated we can't even
Yeah.
fathom the idea of something bad happening, you know. And that's just I'm generalizing, and I hate to do that, but for the sake of the point I'm trying to make, when you step out of that and you kind of expose yourself to the realities of the world, you see that hey, an average response time for a police officer is what 7 minutes, 10 minutes, if you're that's
Yeah.
a day, right? You know how many things can happen to you in 7 or 10 minutes
Yeah.
that
It's
they're going to
crazy.
like you're coming to pick up the body. Like that's not how I'm going to live my life. I
Absolutely.
have a responsibility to myself and my family to keep them safe.
And
And
on
that
that, I'm sorry to cut you.
no, go ahead.
On that point right there, like the everyone pointing to, like there was an incident where Texas, the
Mhm.
guy in the church took out the guy that came in and that was shooting.
Yeah, yeah,
People were saying that he shouldn't have done that. He should have called the cops should have been there. It's the cops' duty to apprehend and take that guy out. Like the cops would have got there, he
yeah.
could have wiped out the whole church. It would have
It's
been
fascinating
worse.
that somebody I haven't actually heard that, but I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah.
Uh, the people are they're the mental acrobats you have to go through to not recognize the fact that that man saved lives is it's just astounding.
Yeah.
Something horrible happened. There was a man there that stopped it from happening. Stopped it from progressing,
Yeah.
and they're still so stuck in their ways that they see looking to the government to come and take care of you. Like
Yeah.
that's not what freedom is.
That's not.
It's
I
I
mean,
don't
you
have a way of talking about that because I'm so detached from thinking like that. It's I think one of the things ingrained in the Second Amendment that is a little different from say the first is personal responsibility and an acceptance of a separation between your freedoms and the state.
mm,
You know, it, a
no,
free
that
man
makes sense.
need to ask permission. That's kind of it. Just
Yeah. I I, I don't
that's
get
why it's so important because it protects you from tyranny. It protects you from just about everything that people don't want to talk about. That I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday. He came over here. Um, this whenever you talk about this particular part of it, I feel like people gloss over and they're like, oh, tinfoil hat kind of stuff. And World War II was not even 100 years ago, and the grand scheme of human existence, that's a very short period of time. So if you think about what happened in Nazi Germany directly before what we think of happening in Nazi Germany, when we think of World War II, when America got involved, it was the same sort of things. It was a disarmament of the people. There was a separation within the culture. These are the same things that we see nowadays. I'm not saying that we're heading towards that.
right, 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 right.
The point of me saying that is that we're the same people. Humans have not changed. We're still capable of mass amounts of violence on each other.
Absolutely.
of tyrannical governments. It's happening all over the world right now. But because we live here in America and we have the Second Amendment, we have freedom, and we're the way we are. It's why do we have these things? You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. Like, I mean, that is a great point. You have to know the past, and to we can repeat the past if we don't know what happened in the
Yeah.
past. And that is a great point. The dishonorment of those people. I don't even know if they had weapons, but they couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
I mean, how this country became was we had weapons. We was tired of
hmm
someone from all the way across the ocean telling us what to do.
hmm My understanding, and I'm not a history expert or anything, was that there was an attempt at a gun registration and a gun confiscation by the redcoats, and then that's when Americans were like, no,
Whoa.
no, it's not going to happen.
I'm gonna
And
have to
then,
look into that. I did not know that part.
yeah, I mean, why? Like, I don't know. I feel like I was watching one of those series about that, talking about that they were taking guns from Americans or trying to get them away from them. I mean, it's not the first time this has happened.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, people need to wake up. Like, if you don't know the past can simply be replayed easily, and that's why our rights are so important. We need to be fighting to protect our rights. Like, they're here for a reason. We have to fight to protect our rights. Stop feeling. I think people are getting so comfortable. Like you said, they want the government to protect them. They want the government to take care of them and all that, provide.
exactly.
What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
you can't rely on the police officers to show up to your house as soon as someone breaking into your house. You gonna
hmm
wait? Hold on. I see you
Yeah.
coming
Right.
through that window. Hold on. Give me 7 minutes. Let me make this phone call, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
we can
It's
get.
crazy. It's not logical. Like
It's
that's
not.
just not how anything works. That's like, you're heading towards a car accident and you see it coming and you call the police first before you hit the other car. Like that's just not how anything works.
It doesn't work.
It's bad things happen and they happen in the moment and you can't stop them in the middle to get help. You have to figure out
Absolutely.
how to deal with it until help does come. I'm not saying don't call the cops. Always
Right.
call the cops if you have to. I mean, it's not like being a vigilante or anything like that. It's just being realistic about, the world that you live in.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance doesn't protect you from reality.
No.
So,
Yeah. It's like, if the only way, and I'm not saying I would even really consider it, but the only way I could ever think about relinquishing my weapons is they would have to show me and prove to me that none of the criminals have any weapons. Period. They would have to show me that. They would have to show that they can stop crime from like the small people. Like, they would have to show me that they have all the guns from all the criminals before I just give up my guns
yeah, and that's
and
a
I'm following the
utopian
law.
society. That's not real. Like
That's
even
not
in
real.
prison,
Yeah.
everybody knows what it is. Like it's a it's a knife they made in prison. But still got weapons. Like come on, like you're not dealing with the law is basically it's a social contract that all of us agree upon following.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to be a part of society, when we see a law, we say, okay, well, that's the line that society has made for each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody is a criminal, by definition, essentially, if you look at criminality as that's their job, that's their motive in life, what they do is ignore the law because that's criminality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't make laws and stop crime. All laws do is define what crimes are.
I see you reading. Are you seeing the text, the message? I'm gonna have to put it back up there. But Johnny texts in and says the church. Let me put it back up there.
hmm
The church shooting. That guy was there to not only to save his family, also his church. I love the fact that I have that freedom to also help others. And like you said, helping, making sure that I can contribute to my community. If I
hmm
see something going wrong, I can step in and stop it
Yeah.
instead of
And that,
pulling
I
out
mean,
my
that
phone and recording it.
exactly, and that goes beyond firearms, though. For me, at least, it's like I keep a med kit in my truck, I keep all kinds of things in my vehicle that I can use to help people. Even if it comes down to knowing how to use some damn jumper cables.
Yeah. Yep.
Just being a decent individual, somebody that's able to help in time of crisis, whether no matter what that crisis may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Just
it's
spot
not
on.
all about like carrying a gun and going and looking for opportunities to use your gun. I've never needed my gun, and I hope to God I never do.
Absolutely. That's
So
that's a great point. Like when I'm out and about and I have my weapon on me, I'm not looking to be like, well, who's in here that I got to take out? I'm not
no,
like that's never on my mind. If anything, because of all the training, I'm just super aware of what's going on. But I'm not looking at like, yep, are you testing me? I don't think no one
yeah,
that
no,
owns a gun is wanting to shoot anyone at Walmart, at the
no,
mall, at the
right?
cat. That's not the case.
I mean, there are people out there that, and I just saw one of my other buddies sent me a video the other day of this guy that he was like a wannabe cop or something. He's cruising around with his gun and has like a fake
Like a
siren
siren,
on
yeah,
his truck, and
lights,
he's like looking for something, and that is the caricature of what not to do. Is
yeah.
be out there acting like a freaking lunatic. Like that's not what it's about.
And that's the set. Like that's the people that hurts like the gun owner reputation because we do have those people out there that are just I don't want to say they're crazy or anything, but they're not all put together. And I mean, I can't even say that. I don't know what's going on, but they think it's
Yeah,
okay for them to, dress maybe because they want to be a police officer so bad and they make it. But that's the stuff that gives gun owners the bad reputation, like they're
exactly.
vigilantes. We're
Yeah,
not Batman. We don't want to be
no,
Superman. We definitely don't want to be the Punisher. we just want to be able to protect our family and protect the people that are around us. If
yeah.
anything is happening, protect, help. We want to be servants of our community.
Yeah,
That's what we're
I think that's one
supposed
of
to
the good
be.
things about this community also is that, I've noticed at least in the last year or so that firearms, people that are serious about firearms, are perfectly willing to call people out within our own community for being, acting a fool in some way.
Abs-
I think that's great. I think that's something that we need to continue to do when we see something stupid to say, hey, don't be stupid. Like,
yeah,
simple as that. Like, what are you doing? Like, there was that guy that, had that whole thing in New York, and the next day the guy just got excommunicated from the gun community because he was basically making something up saying there was a red flag thing. And it turned out that wasn't the case. And gun owners were like, yo, we don't support this guy after it turns out it was, a false
yeah.
sort of situation. And I think that kind of mindset of, I
Holding
guess,
each other accountable is very important when you're having that type of like that's a big responsibility. If you're going to carry a weapon, you need
hmm
to be responsible and hold
yeah,
yourself accountable and others around you accountable.
yeah,
And that's huge for the community to come together collectively and be like, you know what, we do not condone this kind of behavior. We're not no,
hmm
that and that's big. That's good.
yeah,
Before we move on to the next part, I want to say, if you're watching on Twitter, YouTube, I'm not sure if Facebook is working, but if you are, chime in, join the conversation, use those emojis. Um, Let me know how you guys are doing, how you feeling. I see that we have people watching. If you have something to say, say it, and then maybe we'll jump on it. But just wanted to throw that out there. Next, you went to the rally in Virginia.
I did. Yes.
And the news and Facebook, they tried to paint that as a racist, white supremacist rally of a bunch of hillbillies toting weapons and looking to kill anything that's moving.
Yeah.
I reached out to you when you showed me when you put the video up, and I was like, I wish you could have like caught other groups of people there, but I'm glad that I think after I talked to you, I seen other videos of other people posting, and I was
Yeah.
so excited because the media did not want to cover what actually took place.
No. So let me just preface this. I feel like I look like a little bit of a redneck right now. I need to shave a little bit. And I'm about as white as paper. But there was all kinds of people there, man. I went with a Vietnamese cop. Like that's the guy I was chilling with. Like and I've seen so much diversity in the firearms community. It's like a non-issue. Like whenever I hear people talking about it being just a bunch of angry white guys, it's the funniest damn thing in the world. Like no, it's not. Like most of the people I shoot with aren't angry white guys. It's like about everybody you can think of. So, but yeah, I mean, I was there. Like, I was thinking about it after you said it, and you're right. I should have got some pictures because they were everywhere. Like, there's every type of person you could think of was around. You know.
Hmm.
So they, when the next day when I saw some of the news articles, I couldn't help but laughing because it's just not what was going on.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter, and then I went back. Like, I don't know, maybe Facebook is just anti anything positive, but Facebook was definitely pushing the white supremacist thing to like
Yeah.
the ultra. It was just, and then when it actually played out, the conversation quickly died, and the media stopped talking about it. People on Facebook stopped posting about it. It was just amazing. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, you
That
see that a lot.
it was
And
just. I was like, what?
anything pro gun happens that isn't, what they expect, it just gets shut down. I mean, even that Texas shooting got way less publicity than any of these other shootings because it's like, oh wait, we're wrong. You know, is there somebody? These people.
No,
Is it your birthday?
they're looking for us. I was just putting up. Mallory is having. Oh, today is her birthday, I believe. Yeah, her
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
So happy birthday, Serenity. I hope you are having a lot of poke. I believe that's what it's called. She's in Hawaii, so I hope
Like
you're
big,
eating a
big
lot of
sushi.
good. Yeah, a lot of sushi, a lot of pineapples or coconut or whatever the main
Spam.
fruit. Spam,
Spam's a
spam,
big one,
spam is
isn't
a
it?
big one. A matter of fact, I made a spam dish. Oh, I'm getting off on the topic, but I made a spam dish I think last week, and it was fantastic. But I hope you're
Right.
eating good out there. I hope you're enjoying your birthday. Happy birthday, Serenity. um, yeah, I back to
Quicksand. Yeah.
back to the topic of the Virginia. I'm glad to see that the rally was peaceful. I'm glad, and I'm also more happy. Like when I heard that they cleaned up the city, like after everyone
Yeah.
gathered together, they cleaned it up and left peacefully.
Hmm.
Compared to Antifa and other crazy protests, like these were gun owners that the
Yeah.
media was painting to be horrible men. They cleaned up the
Exactly.
city.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I live in Northern Virginia, and it was like a 2-hour drive down there that morning. Um, and I had seen everything going on, and like I heard all the talk like it was going to be some violent thing or whatever.
Hmm.
And I knew if anybody is going to be violent, it wasn't going to be people like myself. Pro-gun people that are truly pro-gun are not going to be the ones causing trouble. I was expecting, there's talks of Antifa being there and trying to cause trouble and all kinds of stuff, right? So I was skeptical going down there. I was worried. Um, when I got down there, I realized this is the most peaceful event it could possibly be.
That's
There's
crazy.
guns everywhere, and it was like nothing happened.
You know what's crazy? The part that you said that was like how the media was pushing that all this craziness was going to take place, and it kind of like put a little fear in you.
It did, because you
Like
have to be aware,
right,
like
right,
this has happened before, like actual KKK rally crap, like what happened in Charlottesville, like
yeah.
that was actually bad people doing bad things. That's not, myself. I'm not in any way affiliated with anything like that, and none of the people I know that were going were like that either.
That's well, what I was the point I was making, that the media tries to put fear into everyone to make them feel a certain way, so they can get people to infringe on other people's rights. Like we
Hmm.
have to stop allowing the media, and like to your point, knowing like you have to be aware of those things, but we can't allow fear to dictate our moves
Hmm.
because they are trying to trample on any rights that we have. Like
They are.
they
Yeah.
are trying to trample on any rights, and if we show otherwise, then we can quiet them. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that, I mean, literally, they stopped talking about it when there was nothing to. They couldn't. It couldn't push. They couldn't help their agenda, so it never happened.
Yeah, one of the two fascinating things when I was there that I picked up on was that if I think most people are capable of reading body language to some degree. And I was standing, when we got there probably at the perfect time. So we were right in the thick of it. And I could see all the cops that were there that everybody was talking about. There's going to be these cops that were going to, be ready for war and all that. The cops looked so chilled out, man. Like, and I was with a group of cops actually that came down with me, because they are also pro-gun in Virginia. And, they were saying it's because they know there's nothing going to be happening. They know this is not the group they need to be worried about. The other thing was that when we were leaving, we wanted to get lunch before we left, and everything was shut down. All the restaurants were closed, and we found one restaurant that was open. We went in there and talked to her, the woman working there, and she said that, the city was telling them to be prepared for basically like some crazy riot stuff and not to be open and all this stuff. And her restaurant, maybe one other, was open, and she said that she wasn't going to buy into the fear tactics that the state was telling them. So she kept her business open.
Wow.
So it was just like one or two places in the whole city that we saw that we could eat at, which is interesting to me. I don't know. This is all, from her words to my ears, and I don't know what happened in between, but.
But that is crazy to know that every restaurant, like everything was just shut down.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
That is crazy. They lost business.
Yeah, it's like I'm a pretty nice guy, and I can't help but think that, like, just from my personal perspective of having been going down there, it's like they were afraid of like me and my buddies coming down here to support the Second Amendment. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm a good tipper,
That is crazy. Look what fear has done. What fear has done. We have to see through it. We have to see through all the nonsense that the media and local government officials are trying to push upon us. They're trying to do that to take away our rights.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. They can get you to be so scared to be like, you know what? Come in, government. Yes, I'm terrified. Come in, take this away. I don't want people convening anymore in front of my business. Take away assembly. You can't assemble anymore. And that's what, like, we're going to start losing our civil liberties because of fear.
Yeah. Well, they're pushing these things in Virginia so hard. I mean, some of these bills are like, obviously they're trying to ban assault like weapons, which is a ridiculous thing. But it gets worse than that. I mean, I saw one recently that they're talking about not allowing, and I could be phrasing this incorrectly, but them not allowing gun ranges to be open if they're not, state run or something. Like, they're trying to, like, just every single inch they can take, they're trying to take. And I guess the part that, for myself, and I think most gun owners that I know are so upset about, is the fact that, we live our lives, or at least I live my life, to be the best man that I can be. That's a really important thing for me.
Yeah.
I follow the laws. I purchased all my firearms legally. I haven't broken any serious laws in my life. I got some speeding tickets, but I'm a pretty well-rounded dude when it comes to, just life in general, and trying to, just be a good person. And then my state that I've lived in my entire life is going to label me as a felon because I own something that they disagree with that I purchased legally. And that's just so fundamentally wrong, and I think a lot of people are feeling the same way.
That's crazy. What is the plan to change, or to at least slow down, or is there anything that the state can do or the people can do?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just a dude running my own business and, doing the best I can to support, one of the companies that, if people are interested in supporting, the Virginia Citizens Defense League, they're doing a lot to fight this legally. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all the details of what they're doing exactly, but I believe they're trying to take it to court on a few matters. So that we have that Virginia shirt, and we're donating 25% of that shirt, as well as the patches and stickers from that design to the BCDL, because they're the heavy hitters in Virginia right now. I haven't seen anybody doing as much good for the Second Amendment in Virginia as the BCDL is. Um,
Wow,
so
that's crazy. One of our texts, Serenity texted in and said they're trying to pass laws like that here. So Hawaii
yeah, I think I
is
heard
it?
something about that
I didn't
too.
hear about that.
That doesn't surprise me.
Wow,
I mean, it's such
wow.
a small island. How many guns can you even fit on it? Like,
I did not even.
yeah, I believe I saw something like that recently. They're trying to do some stuff in Hawaii. I think Connecticut too. I mean, the whole country is trying to head towards this, desecration of civil liberties.
People,
So,
our civil liberties are under attack. Wake up. It's not even a, like I said many times before in this season. It's not about Republican, Democrat. It is our civil, it's good versus bad. They are trying to take our freedoms away. They're trying to scare us to say yes, we don't want that no more either. Come in and take that. Don't allow them to do so. This is crazy. Like
yeah,
just rewriting the Constitution without even writing it. Just
yeah, it's just picking and choosing what they think works best for them, and I think most people, as well as people that are in power, forget the fact that our country, the Constitution is not what the government grants the people. It's the people essentially saying, "Hey, this is what you can't touch." This is a country run by the people. That's our heritage. I don't care what your nationality is, any of that. You're an American.
mm-hmm.
You're free. We have choice here. And to have a government telling you that you don't have a choice, or you don't have the ability to defend yourself, or you don't have the ability to say what you want anymore. That's not America.
That's not America. We need people to stop being so reliant upon the government.
Hmm.
Like it's getting outrageous. You're looking for the government to protect you when they can't. You are
Yeah.
responsible for your family. You are responsible for your community. It is you. It's your job. I, I I don't know how clear. Like, what else do you need to be said to have that picture painted for you, that so you can understand that everything that makes us free is about to be taken away.
Hmm.
I don't know what else. I don't know what else can be said or done to get people to wake up. Um, what's the next move now? What is there? Any other planned rallies or any other protests or whatever?
I don't know. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of momentum right now. I've been in the chats and everything for in the BCDL pages and stuff, and kind of reading what people have been saying, and a lot of people are asking that same question: what now? Because the rally was such a big deal. Like, that was the big push. And I think that next step is still coming into form. To me, what the next step is to not lose focus, and to not forget how unbelievably just wrong this is, and to keep the momentum up and keep the pressure on. I think showing up to the board of supervisor meetings throughout the state at the counties is that needs to keep happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've gone to a bunch of them myself, and it I think it truly has an impact, whether they like it or not, or they say it does or not, to see that many people in a room with those orange stickers on, promoting gun rights and saying that what they believe in. We need to keep that up every single week.
You're absolutely right, and that's another thing that I've been hitting on. I'm trying to get people to understand, like, you you can't be so focused on big government. Yes,
Hmm.
they put in a lot of policies, but a lot of that stuff is federal
Yeah.
and like overseas policy. That's what that's for. We have to be more concerned about local. government and
Hmm.
what they are doing.
Exactly.
We have a president who's doing whatever he's doing. That's fine and dandy. But your mayor, your district, your governor, you
Yeah.
have to know what these people agendas are.
Yeah.
Like,
I
stop
think,
focusing on Washington. Find out what's going on in your state.
yeah, state government stuff is, if it's, that's the stuff that affects you personally,
Absolutely.
much more directly, and that's where it starts. You gotta be aware of what's going on with that stuff.
It's crazy. I wish there was a way that I can get people to understand that, like, local government affects you more than anything than Washington D.C. Like what your state capital is doing every
Hmm.
day in those meetings, and what your local your city is doing. You need to find out. You need to find
Yeah,
out.
for sure.
So let me see. I think we covered everything. I think we covered everything. We hit on all the topics.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, people be more vigilant. Be more active in your local government.
Yeah,
Be more active in your local government. That's crazy that you're telling me about. So you live in Northern Virginia?
I do. Yes. Yeah.
I plan on
I-
moving out there.
What's that?
I'm planning on moving out to
Don't
Virginia.
do that. Don't do that now. We're talking about all this, now you're gonna move
I
here.
know. I love that state. I need them to wake up and figure
Uh,
themselves out, because
uh,
it's a when I was there, it's a great state. And when I lived there for 4 years, I loved every moment of it. And
yeah.
I need them to wake up and figure out what's going on. Like,
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've lived in Virginia my whole life. I love Virginia. A lot of my friends hate Virginia. I'm joking when I say don't move here, but I can't. This is my home, man. Like, I love Virginia. And I was recently in Culpeper, which is a different feel than Fairfax County, Loudoun County. Uh, and I was like, man, I got to move down to Culpeper. People are still kind of American down here. It feel a little bit more at home here.
yeah, that's awesome.
Virginia's a really interesting state. That's like, you move. I'm sure other states are like this too, but when you live somewhere, you really see it a little bit more. But each county's it's got such a different feel. You know,
Hmm.
so up here it's very, or at least they say it's very left wing. I can't tell you how many "Don't Tread on Me" license plates I see driving
Yeah,
around.
that's.
It may
I've seen a
be,
lot of those.
left wing on paper, but there's a ton of gun ranges and stuff around here, man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I need them to wake up and figure it out. I need them to wake up and figure it out, because, I mean, there's so much for Virginia has so much history in the
Hmm.
makeup of this country. Like, there's so
Hmm.
much history, and for them to be going down this road.
Yeah, it's Virginia, man. This isn't like this is the birthplace of freedom.
Yes,
So,
I don't. Mind blown. People,
mhm,
wake up, know your history, know how this country started, know about when other governments try to take over. You have to research this. Like,
mhm.
our civil liberties are at attack. Like, they are attacking those things. Let me see. Let's check the chat room. We got some chats. Anything that I need to address? Any questions, folks, before I let this sir go? Oh, do you want to mention your promo again that you have going on? We said it at the
Oh
top
yeah,
of the show. Just go ahead and tell the people your promo that you
yeah.
have
So
running.
you guys want to check out the website? It's battlecatco.com. I got 20% off for you guys. Let me just remember what I put the discount. It's see through it 20 at checkout. You get 20% off. Got a lot of cool stuff. We got a Virginia shirt right now that honestly we're down to a handful of those left, but we're giving 25% of the profits over to VCDL to support what we're talking about right now to kind of fight back against these laws here in Virginia. Um, if you're in Virginia, we're going to be at the gun show in Chantilly next. I think it's actually next week. Yeah, on the 14th.
Hmm.
The rest of the weekend, we're going to be at the gun shows and come say hi to me and give you a high five, and we can have a good time.
A good old high five. Make sure. Oh wait, we have a So when David says a lot of awesome gear, he has a lot of it. So people, check out the webpage. If you are on Instagram, check it out. It's I put his tag right above his head or
Oh, is
right.
that yeah, I know David. Hey man.
He's at Instagram battlecat underscore co. So if you're on Instagram, check out his stuff. He has a lot of stuff, a lot of good content on there, a lot of patches. I'm looking to get into all of that, guys. So make sure you go and check that out. It's for a good cause. Like we cannot lose our freedoms. We cannot lose our freedoms. So let me see. Anything else that we need to cover? Anything else that you want to say to the people?
Um, if you are into firearms, if you are starting to shoot, if that's something you're getting interested in, I highly recommend that you first off check us out on Instagram. We, as in addition to doing shirts and everything, we are guiding people towards training. That's a highly important thing to me is the full picture of firearms ownership, and it's not just training on the range. It's if you're interested, moving into doing jiu-jitsu, those kinds of things as well, and medical training, just getting the whole package. So we're working with a lot of people to try to make that accessible. So check us out on Instagram. We do most of our promotions and stuff there, so you can see everything going on.
Promotes a lot, folks. I mean, they have something going on like all the time. All the time.
Right.
All the time. So make sure you go on the webpage or on Instagram and check them out. Um, that is the show for tonight, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Before we get out of here, we got to run through the promos one more time. So don't go anywhere. Let me promo. Let me promo. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like what we were talking about or you disagree and you give it a thumbs down, let me know in the comments. Do not just give me a thumbs down for no reason. Tell me why. Join the conversation on YouTube. Instagram, if you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, SeeThroughIt_podcast. Facebook, facebook.com/STIPODCST. Give it a like, share, join the conversation. Help me get those numbers up. You can also contact me through SeeThroughItPodcast@gmail.com if you like to discuss other things. If you like to sponsor the show or be a guest on the show, let me know. Contact me there. Purchasing items, PayPal.me /SeeThroughIt. If you like to donate to the show, I go through PayPal, so that I would greatly appreciate that. If not, that is fine. If you like to purchase any mugs or any t-shirts, here's my latest t-shirt, Warriors Collection, gray long sleeve shirt, mugs, hoodies. Let me know through PayPal. And also, here's my new support page. Thank you to Mr. White for supporting the podcast. If you are in Tennessee and you need tires, find this man. C&J Tires and Service, located in Nashville. If you go there, tell him I said hi. Tell him I sent you. I'm not saying he's going to give you a discount. He might give you a high five, might give you a hug. He might just give you but tell him I sent you, all right? Thank you again, Mr. White, for supporting this show. Thank you again for coming on and having this discussion with me. I look forward to doing another one with you in the upcoming future. So, again, folks, you already know the slogan. Don't be blinded by the media. #SeeThroughIt. This is the See Through It podcast. I'm your host, Brian Sells. Let's talk to y'all on Friday. Peace and good night.